Bedtime Reading for the Unborn Child by Khaled Mattawa. Long after the sun falls into the sea, and twilight slips off the horizon like a velvet sheet, and the air gets soaked in blackness, long after clouds hover above like boulders, and stars crawl up and stud the sky, long after bodies tangle, dance, and falter, and fatigue blows in and bends them, and sleep unloads its dreams and needs them, and sleepers dive into the rivers inside them, a girl unlatches a window, walks shoeless into a forest, her dark hair a flag rippling in darkness. She walks into woods, her feet light stepping through puddles, over hard-packed dirt, through grassy hills, over sticks and pebbles, over sand soaked in day, stones sun-sizzled, over lakes and frigid streams, through dim cobbled streets, darkened squares and dusty pastures. She runs from nothing, runs to nothing, beyond pain, beyond graveyards and clearings. In the dark, the eyes of startled creatures gleam like a herd of candles. They scatter and give night its meaning. What echo of a bell lured her? What spirit? What scent of a word? Whose storm wrote her? What banks fell to drown her? Which blood star? Which thread of water? Which trickle of light? Whose heart being launched? Whose floating soul seduced her? What promise did it make her? Whose memory burned her? Whose prayer did she run to answer? Whose help? What sorrow clot? What pain damned inside her? What wall must she rebuild now? Whose treasure beckons her? Who spread ivy like a veil to blind her? Daybreak lies chained to a blue wall from which the stars drop and lose all meaning. She runs past villages that lost their names, roads that lost their destinations, seas that lost their compasses and sailors, rivers that lost their marshlands and travelers, houses that lost their sleepers and criers, trees that lost their songs and shadows, gardens that lost their violets and benches, valleys that lost their worms and farmers, mountains that lost their prophets and marauders, temples that lost their sinners and spires, lightning that lost its silver and wires, chimeras that lost their bridges, minotaurs that lost their fountains. Crescent moons hover above her, ancient white feathers, birdless, wingless, lost to their own meaning. Music rises out of her vision. It stands, a wall covered with silver mosses. A clarinet sounds a wounded mare. Violins, women who lost their children. Flutes blow their hot, dry breezes. Drums chuckle the earth's ceaseless laughter. Pianos are mumbling sorcerers, calling spirits and powers. Cellos chew on the sounds of thunder. Dulcimers skip about on crutches. Dance floors flash their knives, daring their dancers. Words mill about the streets like orphans. Then a lute begins groaning, and dawn loses its meaning. Night girl, your book is full now. You've drawn all the pictures. You've seen many weepers. Stars held your sky in place, and moons floated on your lakes and washed them. When a bird sings, when dewed branches tilt sunlight into eyes, when curtains are soaked with light, when mirrors drown in shadows, take your day to the shore, my child. Put out the words that fired your waking, scatter them in the sand like seeds, then with your feet gently tap them, and let the bright waves receive your meaning.